Alright, I used the word correction. And it was on purpose, because correction is the main essence of Department 15's actions. I skipped over 14. We'll talk about it a bit later. Why? Correction of what? In Department 13, we discovered certain deviations from the standard set, right? So now, we have to bring the standard back up to a certain stated level. Let's say there is some other area to correct. If the faucet or tap is broken, then it needs to be fixed. Quite simple. Another example. Let's say it took the waiter to attend the customer in 3 minutes, and our hat states a customer must be attended no later than 30 seconds, then we'll have to correct that waiter as soon as possible, don't we? Alright. The main conclusion here is that any company has a certain quality standard. And I don't think you're going to claim that your product or service, whatever it may be that you deliver, is the best in the world. Am I right? I think that very few companies these days could make such a claim. So here is a very basic and important conclusion. You have to maintain that level of quality which you announced, rain or shine. Under no circumstances should you let the quality of your delivery deteriorate. Also, you can't let the following happen. Let's say that your quality standard is here, and then up there tomorrow, and then back here again. What do you think would happen if every, I don't know, 4th burger at McDonald's, and then burger number 28, was better than the ones before? What would be the result? All the customers before who didn't get the better McDonald's burger would have actually received partial exchange. And you know what that would lead to, right? McDonald's is a good example. Any time that you come there, you always get the before stated and anticipated result. Moreover, you usually get exchange in abundance at McDonald's. Your kids especially, and then later they tug you towards the place and say, "Daddy, let's go to McDonald's." And take note of this, that this company is very, very, very successful all over the world. And the reason it is because Division 5 in this company is a shining example of how it should be. Department 14. Let's take a look at this drawing. Here's a triangle. And let's suppose that we have 3 people here who make 3 units of product. Let's label them as such. And we pay these 3 people here for it. And here are 3 bags of money. Now, a question comes up. What are we most interested in out of these 3 components primarily? Remember we said that business is about getting profit? Where do we get this profit? Of course, we get that very profit by creating the product and then exchanging it with our customers for money. So this means, out of these 3 things, we are first and foremost interested in the product. How do we make it go up? How do we increase the quantity? The first thing that comes to mind is, of course, increase the number of people. We could have 6 people instead of 3. Somehow we have a right to suppose that we might now create 6 products and not 3. But I'll tell you, based on experience, that it doesn't happen like that. We hire 3 more people, let's say, but only 5 produced products. But tell me this, how many bags of money are we going to pay out? We'll pay 6 of them. And our triangle becomes skewed in a direction we don't want it to. How do we correct it? The only possible method of correction, in this case, is education. And that's the main purpose of Department 14. That's the exact place on the org board we raise our staff's qualifications. We enhance them. We enhance them as individuals and as staff members, etc. Of course, this department here works tightly with Division 1 and namely with Department 1, where the hats are created and where hatting occurs. But the education on those hats happens in Department 14. People move on their check sheets, checking off what they studied and complete their full hat. And once they've completed it, what comes next? Is there a necessity for further enhancement? Absolutely. The world is changing, technologies change, there is progress everywhere, and if our company lags behind, our future won't be affluent. You know, if you take any successful company, any such company, let me stress this, which is successful in today's world, then without a doubt this company has a well-established Department 14. That same department in any successful company, I'll stress it again, has its own internal academy, if you will. So, a well-established Department 14 is the guarantee of success. For example, McDonald's has a hamburger university. Coca-Cola has its own internal university composed of 8 levels, etc. And if you want your company to be successful without an academy, well, you can't succeed without such an education. Now look, what is the flow we have in Division 5 here? In Department 13, we discover deviations from expected standards. Let's take our company furniture. Let's say someone from Department 13 calls the clients and asks, how was the furniture assembly? And let's say this short survey discovers that the assembler didn't do some points or actions in his hat. Possibly the hat says, after that assembly, one has to gather all of the packaging and take it out. And possibly he didn't do that. Now that we've found this out, we have to send this assembler to, we first send him to Department 15, where he's going to get a correction program based on discovered flaws. And it's not some general program, but it relates directly to what he didn't do. The program gets written, and he goes and restudies in Department 14 what he had already studied. And then he takes an exam. As part of that, he has to demonstrate that he can apply the materials he restudied. Done, the cycle is over. And as a result of this flow in Department 5, we have a correct company, yeah? Or a correct flow of activity, or a corrected staff member. And this division, the Qualifications division, its job is to make sure that the accepted organizational policy, the standards of the company, or the rules upheld in the company don't degrade or slacken. You know, when L. Ron Hubbard was working on the org board, he studied a vast amount of past civilizations. Any civilization, any social structure had some sort of an org board, didn't it? And basically, it seems he came to a very important conclusion. The common denominator of the downfall or demise of any civilization, as far back as could be researched, was an insufficient or unsatisfactory performance of Division 5 functions. Sometimes I pose this question to business owners. I'll ask them, tell me, how long is your company supposed to exist? In most cases, the answer is forever. What do you mean, how? They will say. So it seems that this is the first time this question is posed to them. Maybe they never even thought of such a thing. So, if you want your company to exist as long as possible, and better yet, forever, then you need a well-functioning Division 5. So, that was the Qualifications division, and its color is grey.